off of being a failed drummer. I started at 9. I took lessons from a jazz drummer, a really nice guy named Mr. Patricus. He used to come over.
Joe Satriani is an American guitarist, composer, songwriter, guitar teacher, actor, record producer, and multi-instrumentalist. He worked as a guitar instructor with many of his former students achieving fame, including Alex Skolnick, Kevin Cadogan, Charlie Hunter, Andy Timmons, Kirk Hammett, Rick Hunolt, Larry Lalonde, and Steve Vai. During his successful career as a solo artist, he received 15 Grammy Award nominations and sold more than 10 million albums, which makes him the best-selling instrumental rock guitarist of all time. He's also been the guitarist for the supergroup Chickenfoot since joining the band back in 2008.
Because once I started to go out and tour, this is the first thing someone would ask. So, do you believe in aliens? Have you been abducted?
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Joseph Satriani, but he's also known as Satch and Joe. He was born July 15, 1956 in Westbury, New York, making him age 64 at the time of this production. He stands at 1.751 meters or 5 feet 7 inches tall. Joe has the 4th most Grammy Award nominations of any artist without winning. His work frequently makes references to various science fiction series and ideas. For example, Back to Shalabal, Surfing with the Alien, and the Power Cosmic 2000 refer to the comic book character Silver Surfer. He endorses Ibanez JS series guitars and the Marshall JVM 410 HJS guitar amplifier. Both lines were designed specifically for Joe as signature products. The Ibanez JS1 was based on and replaced the Ibanez 540 Radius model that Joe first endorsed. Many of Joe's guitars are made by the company, including the JS1000 and the JS1200. The JS line of guitars is his signature line, with the JS1000, JS1200, and JS2400, JS BDG, and JS20th using Ibanez's original edge double-locking tremolo bridge. The guitar Joe was most associated with during the 1990s was a chrome-finished guitar nicknamed Chrome Boy. This man is considered a highly technical guitarist. He's been referred to as a top guitar virtuoso and has mastered several playing techniques on electric guitar, including legato, two-handed tapping, and arpeggio tapping, volume swells, harmonics, and extreme whammy bar effects. He was influenced by Jimi Hendrix and by English rock guitarists such as Jeff Beck, Ritchie Blackmore, Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton, and Brian May. Moreover, Joe says he was influenced by jazz fusion guitarist Alan Holdsworth. He's a supporter of the Little Kids Rock. This nonprofit organization aims at providing free musical instruments and education to children in underserved public schools in the United States. Joe is an advocate of music education and refused to earn money from releasing instructional videos to the retail market. A number of workshops and video lessons from this guitarist are available online for free. It was the year 1979 when he met Rubina at a birthday party through mutual friends. They started dating and got married in 1981. They also have a son and still live together. Rubina does guitar paint jobs, and their son Zachariah was born February 10, 1992. He's a filmmaker, director, and actor. Joe's son is most famous for his works in Advice, which was released in 2015, and Beyond the Supernova, which was released in 2018.
I've also had songs that have taken 15, 20 years to write because I didn't quite understand what the little riff or the chord sequence really meant to me.
He was born to John and Catherine Satriani and is of Italian descent. Joe's father died back in 1989. At that time, he was recording the album Flying in the Blue Dream. His paternal grandparents were from Piacenza and Bobbio. On the other hand, his maternal grandparents were from Bari. He was inspired to play guitar at the age of 14 after hearing of the death of Jimi Hendrix. The guitarist has been said to have heard the news during football practice, where he then announced to his coach that he was quitting to become a guitarist. Carol and Joan are his sisters, and both of them are artists. He has a brother named John. Joe studied music with jazz guitarist Billy Bauer and with reclusive jazz pianist Lenny Tristano in 1974. The technically demanding Tristano greatly influenced Joe's playing. He then started teaching guitar, with his most notable student at the time being fellow Long Island native Steve Vai. They both went to the same school. While Joe was teaching Steve Vai, he attended Five Towns College for studies in music. He then moved to Berkeley in California in 1978. Joe started playing in a San Francisco-based band, Squares. He had formed this band with his brother-in-law, Neil Sheehan, during the late 1970s. Joe was then invited to join the Greg Kihn Band, who were on the downside of their career, but whose generosity helped Joe pay off the overwhelming credit card debt from recording his first album titled Not of This Earth, which was released in 1986. In 1987, he released his next album titled Surfing with the Alien. The album included a song called Crush Day. This song was featured on the soundtrack of a low-budget movie called It Takes Two. According to the aggregator Acclaimed Music, Surfing with the Alien is Joe's most acclaimed work. Then in 1988, this guitarist helped produce the EP The Eyes of Horror for the death metal band called Possessed. He also released an EP called Dreaming No. 11 during that year. He then released an album titled Flying in a Blue Dream in 1989. In 1992, he released an album titled The Extremist, which is considered Joe's most commercially successful album to date. He then joined Deep Purple as a temporary replacement for Ritchie Blackmore in 1993 during the band's Japanese tour. He was asked to join the band permanently, however, Joe declined this offer, having just signed a multi-album solo deal with Sony. He founded the G3 in 1996, which is a concert tour intended to include a rotating trio of guitarists. The G3 tour has continued periodically since its inaugural version, with Joe being the only permanent member. In 2002, he released Strange Beautiful Music before releasing an album titled Is There Live in Space in 2004. He toured India for the first time in 2005. The next year, he recorded and released Super Colossal and Satriani Live. In 2007, Surfing with the Alien was re-released to help celebrate the 20th anniversary of its publication. In 2008, he released an album titled Professor Sachafunculus and the Mysterion of Rock. He released his 14th album, Unstoppable Momentum, in May 2013. In 2019, he released an eponymous retrospective collection of songs he had recorded during the 1970s with Squares.
Opportunities to understand people or things that you do until you mature, and then you say, oh, that's what they were.
In 1986, he earned over $2 million from his album titled Crowded House, which he released with a band called Crowded House. The next year, his earning from the album titled Surfing with the Alien helped him earn $2.46 million. The value of his official website is $17,500. He made $12 million as lead guitarist for the first solo tour of Mick Jagger. He also has brand endorsement deals with Ibanez JS Series and Peavey. In 1989, he earned $1.19 million from the record sales of the album titled Flying in a Blue Dream. Then in 1991, he earned $650,000 from the EP Dreaming No. 11. In 2009, Joe earned $780,000 from Chickenfoot. As of 2021, Joe Satriani has a total net worth of $12 million. He has a house in San Francisco that features a spacious car garage, 3 bedrooms, and a swimming pool. Joe Satriani likely has the following vehicles in his garage: a Mercedes-Benz 600, a Volkswagen Beetle, a Ford Mustang convertible,